Good morning and welcome to LinkedIn Learning presents the Economic Times Learning and Development Summit 2021 with our all-new theme, Restructuring Learning Stratagems for the New Normal. I'm your host, Isha Bhalla, and it's a pleasure to welcome all of you to this virtual platform right here. We all do believe that learning and development has evolved over the years, with its primary focus shifting from building technical expertise within a domain to building leadership capability and talent engagement within the organization. Learning and development strategy today is revisiting questions around learning, what learning, how learning, when, and how much. The questions really need to be answered, not just so that organizations can cope with changes that are happening today, but also to prepare for impending changes in the form of new regulations and technologies. Today, in the digital era, a digital design needs to be created for the L&D space, digital learning programs, continuous learning culture, closing the skill gaps with the right learning strategies are the new directions for the segment. E-learning or digital learning really is the new buzz, and we all need to be part of this changing game. Today's platform will bring to you experts from across the globe on and around the industry who will be telling you more about the learning and development trendsetters, inspiring leadership stories, and leading to learn with examples. Understanding the current trends and requirements of your customers is vital, and our experts today will guide you just in the right direction. But before we kickstart, let me take a moment and thank our partners for their trust in us. I'd like to thank our presenting partner, LinkedIn Learning, our talent transformation partner, Aon, our associate partner, Vani.coach, our media partner, Higher Education Review, CEO Insights, and of course, the summit has been brought to you by ET Edge Unwired. But before we kickstart and begin with our opening keynote address, I'd like to request all of you to look out and get to know more about our partners through this video.
Being a learning leader today isn't easy because building skills can be really hard. That's why we built the LinkedIn Learning Hub to help you future-proof your people and your business. By using AI, the skills of millions of professionals, companies, and jobs posted on LinkedIn become insights. Then it uses those insights to serve content from all your sources. Content that matches your employees' roles and aspirations. Through the LinkedIn Learning Hub, your employees can also connect with a community of experts they trust. And the more questions they ask, the better the answers get. Finally, you can use the Learning Hub to understand how your employees are learning, so you can identify the skills they're developing and the ones they'll need for tomorrow. All of this makes the LinkedIn Learning Hub more than just a learning platform. It's a new way to lead. Being a learning leader today isn't easy because building skills can be really hard. That's why we built the LinkedIn Learning Hub to help you future-proof your people and your business. By using AI, the skills of millions of professionals, companies, and jobs posted on LinkedIn become insights. Then it uses those insights to serve content from all your sources. Content that matches your employees' roles and aspirations. Through the LinkedIn Learning Hub, your employees can also connect with a community of experts they trust. And the more questions they ask, the better the answers get. Finally, you can use the Learning Hub to understand how your employees are learning, so you can identify the skills they're developing and the ones they'll need for tomorrow. All of this makes the LinkedIn Learning Hub more than just a learning platform. It's a new way to lead.
Well, that was about our partners. You can connect with them to know how you can grow along with your organizations. I'd also like to encourage all of you to please head to your social media, share what you think about and what your comments on learning and development are. Do remember to tag us using our hashtag ETLND as we look forward to a very, very engaging session, as we look forward to a day full of takeaways for all our delegates joining in. Up next is our opening keynote address on restructuring learning stratagems for the new normal. Yes, with the pandemic hitting the world and leaving the work ecosystem in a complete chaos, leaders worked at implementing new ways of working and delivering engaging learning in the remote working system. This session will bring to you and make you understand on how you can move towards working better in the hybrid model. Yes, bringing to you technology, learning the future of workforce, along with not forgetting about the remote workforce. We bring to you a very special session, all thanks to Ms. Geeta Singh, Director, People Development, Google.
Good morning, everyone. It's such an honor and pleasure to be here today at the Economic Times Learning and Development Summit. Before I jump in, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge how difficult COVID-19 has been to so many of us, no matter where we are based. While I wish we could all be here in person, I hope everyone that's dialing in is doing everything they can to stay healthy and safe. I've been in the learning and development field for 20 plus years, and never before have I seen an event force us to think so radically about the role of learning and development like the pandemic has. As the pandemic first spread across APAC, it shifted many of us, including Google, to a remote working environment. Teams across our organizations had to quickly look at how we effectively collaborate, innovate, and learn. And all this while staying focused on employee well-being and keeping our culture inclusive. There wasn't a playbook in handling this rapid transition. And like many organizations, the impact of COVID forced many of us to pivot the way we live and work. Once we realized that remote work has become a way of life, we focused on ensuring that our employees, or Googlers as we call them, who are located in various countries across the region, continue to learn, grow, and develop their skills in this new working environment. Whether it's here in India, where we have a vibrant community of Googlers, or across the globe, we wanted to ensure we were finding relevant ways to keep our learning culture alive by constantly asking ourselves, how can we enhance the existing programs we have? How can we support our employees further? And what are we missing? We're all learning from this experience today. And I'd like to take the opportunity to share our insights and learnings with you as we all move forward into the hybrid work environment. So firstly, adapt your onboarding process for the virtual world. New employees are still joining companies, and unlike before, where they had the opportunity to meet their teams or colleagues in person, onboarding virtually can be quite daunting for many. For Google, onboarding is a pivotal moment in our development journey. Our onboarding program is the cornerstone of Google's culture. And at the start of the pandemic, we had to figure out how to communicate with new hires about our culture, about our values, and about our company. How to create the same inspiration and excitement about joining this company as we have done with in-person new hire orientation, but now through a computer screen. We aimed at providing a globally consistent and equitable experience for all Nooglers, whether working on-site or remote. So we redesigned our onboarding program in just 6 months, when it would have previously taken more than a year, and partnered with more than 30 teams to brainstorm what new Googlers, whom we called Nooglers, need to be successful. From there, our team fiercely prioritized and made critical decisions on what, when, and how we share content with tens and thousands of Nooglers who have onboarded remotely since the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. Since launching this virtual onboarding program, we continue to hear positive feedback from our Nooglers about their onboarding experiences. Secondly, supporting managers to lead their teams. At the start of the pandemic, we recognized that our managers were key to managing the transition their teams were going through. Therefore, we invested in providing our managers with the resources they needed to lead their teams. In this ambiguous environment, we provided a range of learning opportunities to meet these unique needs. We had managers virtually learning from each other, learning in the moment through short videos that provided advice, or through a panel of managers who addressed the most frequently asked questions pertaining to managing remote teams. As we move into 2022, it is important for all of us to support people managers as they transition into a hybrid work environment, providing them with the resources on how to set clear expectations, support team members' well-being, and invest in the team by taking action on building connections and team norms will be crucial to ensure that managers can continue to lead effectively and their teams can feel supported. Thirdly, focusing on connections and community. What many organizations, including Google, have learned from this pandemic is how employees miss connecting and socializing with one another. While nothing can replace human interaction, organizations can use learning opportunities as a way to connect and engage employees with one another. At Google, during our pandemic office prep operations, we offered Googler to Googler classes, or G2G for short, which is our peer-to-peer learning program where Googlers teach each other a skill or share a knowledge about a topic that they are passionate about. These learning opportunities include a range of topics from Python coding to parenting to mindfulness, and it's been a great way to meet new Googlers with shared interests. It's helped us build a more engaged, vibrant community, especially with over 12,000 G2Gers globally. With COVID-19, we were no longer able to run in-person sessions, but we quickly made sure we kept this community going by pivoting to the Teach and Learn Remotely with G2G program, encouraging Googlers to continue to teach or learn certain skills from their peers even during this work from home period. Googlers are encouraged to indicate the sessions they would like to host or topics that they want to learn about. And the benefit of virtual sessions is that we are now able to open the sessions to any Googler around the world who's keen on the session. Also, we recognize that there has been an increased focus on managing our mental health, especially during this pandemic. Our Googlers' health and well-being is a clear priority, but we also wanted to make sure that they have the tools to be productive. And we've seen grassroots initiatives popping up with Googlers initiating and running sessions on resilience building, being productive while working from home to create a safe space for people to share their personal experience and feel supported. In the spirit of helping one another, we've seen how Googlers have hosted 200 plus events globally to raise awareness about mental health and prioritizing well-being. Initiatives like these go a long way in making employees feel supported and connected with one another and to the organization. There are so many different experiences when it comes to learning. We don't know what the future holds, so all we can do is continue our focus on providing the right platform and space for our employees to come together as a company and explore ways to be more helpful to one another. And finally, growing talent continues to be critical. Even as we work remotely, we shouldn't deprioritize our employees' learning and development opportunities. So in addition to learning programs, Research has shown that 70% of learning is experiential. Therefore, within the company, we continue to encourage our employees to avail themselves of initiatives like the 20% project, where Googlers can dedicate 20% of their time to work on a different project or team, which gives them the space to experiment, improve, and innovate while fostering a product development and inter-team communication. And if Googlers prefer going deep on a particular project or a role, we also offer short-time assignments called bungees, where they're able to take on a new role for 6 to 9 months to experience a different role and grow their network internally. Today's workforce is evolving, and we all have the responsibility to grow the talent pool in this region and beyond, especially during this challenging economic climate. Here in India, the adoption of digital in this pandemic has been unprecedented. And increasingly, companies are tapping into this momentum. This means a keen, widespread demand for digitally skilled resources. To that end, Google is investing in initiatives that help develop a talent pipeline for tech-related roles and nurture future developer talent. Our Google Career Certificates is one such initiative aimed at bridging the digital skill gaps between job seekers and employers. In fact, we've recently strengthened the program in India with 1 lakh scholarships and a cohort of companies that will recognize these for their resource requirements. DigiPivot is another such initiative that trains women in digital marketing to open up more opportunities for them to pivot to the tech sector or gain new skills as they widen their skill sets. As leaders, it is our responsibility to build a culture that fosters continuous learning, agility, and innovation, not just within our organizations, but externally in our communities as well. This will enable organizations to maximize the potential that digital technology has to offer. If more companies can dedicate time to make learning a part of their culture, we will be able to keep our workforce relevant. And by investing in the learning of our communities externally, we enable and empower future leaders and talent. So as we enter this new hybrid world, we have a unique opportunity to be intentional, to build together and establish organizational norms that create belonging for all. I hope that some of these examples and tips inspire you as L&D professionals and business leaders as we explore innovative and new ways of incorporating learning into our workplace culture outside of our organization's physical office environments. With that, I would like to thank you again for having me, and please enjoy the rest of your summit. Good morning, everyone. It's such an honor and pleasure to be.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Geeta Singh. It's been a pleasure listening to you, ma'am, and of course, learning from you. So it's really about nurturing the future of our employees. And thank you for sharing the various initiatives that you at Google have been taking and the various programs that you have which are aimed at bridging the digital age gap. And really, one of the programs that you talked about is going to train women in digital marketing, how they can gain this new skill. And of course, how leaders of today really need to build a culture that fosters learning. So more and more organizations today need to pick up from there, empower the future leaders, encourage learning process to be a part of their organization culture. So once again, thank you so very much for joining us. And for all our delegates, let me tell you, next is going to be a very special session on the future of work and intelligent ways of building the right skills at scale. So stay tuned.
Being a learning leader today isn't easy because building skills can be really hard. That's why we built the LinkedIn Learning Hub to help you future-proof your people and your business. By using AI, the skills of millions of professionals, companies, and jobs posted on LinkedIn become insights. Then it uses those insights to serve content from all your sources. Content that matches your employees' roles and aspirations. Through the LinkedIn Learning Hub, your employees can also connect with a community of experts they trust. And the more questions they ask, the better the answers get. Finally, you can use the Learning Hub to understand how your employees are learning, so you can identify the skills they're developing and the ones they'll need for tomorrow. All of this makes the LinkedIn Learning Hub more than just a learning platform. It's a new way to lead.